Hello there everybody, welcome back to Star Wars Lads for my review of the latest Essential Legends collection reprint, and this time also the audiobook of Dark Lord, The Rise of Darth Vader by James Luceno. If you're new to the channel, I review every single Essential Legends collection audiobook, so if you're interested in hearing about the quality of these new audiobooks, make sure you subscribe. So let's get into the review of Dark Lord, The Rise of Darth Vader. And specifically, we're going to start with talking about the narrative, the plot, the structure, the writing that James Luceno has, and of course, the new audiobook. The unabridged audiobook is by Mark Thompson, and as always, it's fantastic. All his voices are great. He does a good job as Vader. He does a good job comparing and contrasting Vader with the internal monologues via Anakin. There are also some great moments with Sidious. Different characters throughout the prequels appear in here. And overall, he just does a fantastic job of bringing all this back to life. As usual, the Penguin Random House audio team holds up their end of the bargain as well. Amazing sound effects, great use of music. Battles and action scenes are immersive. A lot of great sound effects used to create those moments, and overall I was impressed as always with the audiobook. It's another great one. As for the narrative, it's pretty straightforward. It's about some Jedi who survive Order 66 and Vader's trying to hunt them down. This book was written as a sequel to Revenge of the Sith, and it came out all the way back in 2005, book ending a Dark Lord trilogy as they would later call it in reprints, starting with his first book, Labyrinth of Evil, and then continuing here with James Luceno's Dark Lord, The Rise of Darth Vader. In between is Matthew Stover's Revenge of the Sith book, or if you just want to watch the films, this is a true sequel. It touches on a lot of the things that have to do with Anakin, his thoughts, his internal monologues, what he's thinking after everything fell apart. At the end of Revenge of the Sith, he was going to rule the galaxy with Padme at his side, and all it took was a battle with Obi-Wan to leave him destroyed physically and emotionally. Luceno does a great job of playing with that, as well as all of the other influences on Anakin and Vader at the time, and Luceno's also excellent at writing politics and developing worlds, and he develops this world really well. What the formation of the Empire is like, both for clones, Imperial officers, the Jedi, smugglers, different resistant factions, also the early rebel groups. There's some stuff with Bail Organa in here, Mon Mothma. Everybody is really included, and you get a pretty complete epilogue to Revenge of the Sith here. The pace is excellent, it flies by, and you're constantly invested in everything that's going on. Since there are two main factions here, the Jedi who survived Order 66, and then also Darth Vader and Palpatine, that Imperial faction, when you cross back and forth between the point of views, it keeps the reader invested. There's not a lot of lingering time. When one of the storylines slows down, the next one often begins immediately. So let's talk about those characters, and obviously there are a few key point of views, the most obvious of which is Darth Vader. Anakin Skywalker's point of view is very specific to this story. Everything that happens in the story from the Jedi's perspectives or from Palpatine's perspectives, a lot of it is set up to crisscross and build on the psyche of Darth Vader. And one of the things Luceno does the best here is delve into that. Vader is critically examined. You have a lot of internal monologue. Anakin here is pretty interesting, hearing his thoughts immediately after Revenge of the Sith about how Palpatine has treated him, some of the ways he sees through some of what Palpatine's done, but the hopelessness he feels in his new situation, having lost Padme, having lost the Jedi, having lost Obi-Wan, trying to find his new purpose in life while also balancing the fact that he betrayed everything and everyone he ever loved for somebody who got everything out of him he needed and has now left him in this horrendous situation of living in this mechanical body. You get to read what it feels like for Anakin to be in the suit, both the physical and emotional pain he struggles with every day. And I found all of that really interesting and adds so many layers to a character who is often very stoic until he's scary. This time we get under the helmet and you get to see more of the Vader. This is a guy who's fresh off of having his entire life changed physically and mentally, and it is really interesting to get his perspective. The second most prevalent POV in the story is from a Jedi who survived, and you might be thinking, oh, who could it be? It is a character who is a background character in Attack of the Clones, a Jedi Master named Roan Shrine. Now, you would be forgiven if you've never heard of Roan Shrine. He didn't appear in anything else besides his background role in Attack of the Clones and then this novel, but he is developed into a really interesting Jedi Master. Considering this book came out 8 years before something like Kenobi gave us a look at what Obi-Wan was dealing with immediately after the events of Revenge of the Sith, this is a good critical examination of what a Jedi who might not have been on the top tier top rung of like the High Council and some of the more famous Jedi did after the events of Order 66. How he blended in, how he took his apprentices and other fellow Jedi who he met and sheltered them, and how he balanced his new life with his duty to the Force. John Jackson Miller does a great job of deconstructing a lot of those same things in Kenobi from an Obi-Wan perspective, but here you get a lot of similar things. About somebody who's just lost. He's trying to find his new role in the galaxy. It's a natural fight or flight situation, an instinct to try to preserve his life and survive, but it's also challenging the very beliefs he's held for his entire life. Does he sit back and watch as horrible things happen, or does he get involved? It pairs nicely with the fact that Vader is on his tail as well as the other Jedi, and he has to make some critical decisions that will either make or break the early days of both Darth Vader and also the Jedi Order as it slowly fades out of the galaxy. So now for final thoughts and a score out of 5, I thought Dark Lord, The Rise of Darth Vader on this reread was still as compelling as ever in the audiobook format. I find the audiobook format incredibly immersive. I think everything Penguin Random House does with their audiobooks is exceptional, and so this version of this story is maybe one of the best, especially if you're not interested in reading the book. It's got all the things you're accustomed to at this point. Great soundtrack, great effects, great narration. And then, oh yeah, on top of that, the story is still a really strong one. It's a great epilogue to Revenge of the Sith. There's really not many stories that take place immediately after Revenge of the Sith ends, and this is one of them. I highly recommend this book. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. So thank you so much for watching my review of Dark Lord, The Rise of Darth Vader. What did you think? Did you get a chance to listen to the new audiobook? Have you read this before and are interested in returning to it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, subscribe for more Star Wars book reviews. We always have them immediately when these books come out. So if you're interested in Star Wars book reviews, Star Wars Lads is one of the best places you can find on YouTube for book reviews. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you all next time.